Happy Simchat Torah, Shmini Atzeres, Hoshana Rabbah. Unbelievable. This is the culmination of thousands of years from the beginning of time. We are about to witness the purpose why God made the entire universe, the coming of the Mashiach. The very fact that I am standing right over here in my home in the beautiful holy city of Tzfat, the city in which Yaakov, when he ran away from Esav, he came to this city to learn Torah from Shem ve'Aver. There's actually the cave where he studied Torah. They have daily prayers in this beautiful synagogue next to it. They use that cave as the kiddush, where they have their I don't want to call it meals, but where they have, the synagogue has its holy convocations, holy meals together. And this is what Judaism boiled down to. This is what the world boiled down to, because if you look around, you'll see that the Jewish people have what's called a sukkah, a little hut. I'm in this little hut right now as we speak. So why do we leave our wonderful homes and build little huts? Why did God give the Torah to the Jewish people, the most important document in human history, the most bestseller of all times, revered by most of the world, inspired the entire ethics and morality of the entire world? Why did he give it in a desert to a group of people that were basically slaves, and they were now freed, and they were traveling in a desert of all places? And the answer is very, very profound and important. Everything you need to know, you can know from the journey of the Jewish people from Egypt to the promised land where we're in right now. And there are three things that we need to know. The first is, do not think that you're stuck. The word Mitzrayim in Hebrew, Jewish mysticism tells us, comes from the word Meitzar. Meitzar basically means you're stuck. So many times in life, we feel stuck, myself included. I've been through many, many things in life where I never felt I could be happy again. I never felt I could get out of this. Literally years and years of being stuck here or stuck there, stuck with this emotion, stuck with that. And then miraculously, whether it's through prayer or really divine intervention, in ways that I could have never expected to happen, ways that I can't even say that I was responsible for. You know, in the West, we come from a bit of the Roman mentality. We came, we saw, we conquered. We love being that Superman that's able to do it. But you know what? It's not true. A lot of times, like Rabbi Yossi Jacobson says, you have these very successful people, they come to speak at graduation, they say, I started off in the garage and then I became a multi-billionaire. Yeah, but how many of those people exist? Most people, they start off in the garage and they end up in the garage. The answer is because we completely don't control this reality. But being stuck doesn't mean, I have a friend that unfortunately he was more than traumatized, he was shot. He was ambushed by the evil Arab terrorists, and two people to the right and left got killed, and he got a bullet kind of close to his heart. And anyway, long story short, he went through a lot. He got onto drugs, he became schizophrenic, and he had to take this lithium shot, and he hated taking his lithium shot. I don't know what it made him feel. So eventually he actually managed to get off it. And all the time, for 30 years, psychologists were always trying to say, you'll never get off the lithium shot. You have to take the lithium shot, because he was always battling it. And one thing he would always say to them, because he was a big believer in God, he says, you cannot say that I have to take this shot, because God can make anything happen. And one day a pill came out, and the great man doesn't have to take a lithium shot. This very moment, on top of a mountain, the Messiah, the Mashiach, will appear. He's going to come, they say it, on a white donkey. And he will change the trajectory of the world. Right now we're in a world in which many, many people are confused. There's no clarity. Even people that have some clarity are confused with so much information being bombarded at them all the time. When that supernatural event occurs, there will be no more questions if God is real, if Judaism is real, if the Rebbe, if Mashiach is real. We'll have that clarity. We'll see it with our own eyes. And therefore, today, we really, really, really beg of God to bring the coming of the Mashiach, to free the hostages, to free ourselves from this Mitzrayim, from the Egypt, from the things that we think we can't be freed from, because in one moment we can all be freed. In one moment everything can change. And that's the very first thing we have to remember. In one moment everything can change. And the other thing to remember is often in life we're kind of, some don't want to embarrass anyone, but they call it happy clappies. We get into this kind of spiritual nirvana. We're so, correctly so, impressed with God, in love with God, so happy. But what we fail to appreciate is that life ultimately is meant to be lived. I remember asking my beautiful, cute little daughter, I said to her, Esther, what's the meaning of life? So she said, living. And she was always very bright and precocious. And it was a very profound idea. We're often looking for something beyond ourselves, something outside, something grander than ourselves, because we don't realize that maybe the whole design of the world is you, is your actions in this world. God didn't need to make us so we could leave this world. This is the big mistake that all religions basically make, including Buddhism, it's all about finding some kind of escapism, trying to get out of this reality. We're like, this reality sucks, basically, and if you do this, you get to heaven, or if you do this, you don't have to come back to earth, or if you do this, all this kind of stuff. But actually, this reality is awesome. I love my life, to be perfectly frank. I have beautiful children. I'm not wealthy, but I live wonderfully. I have a great wife. I have great parents. I have great siblings. I love my community. I love my people. I love my land. I love God. I love the Torah. I love my master, the Rebbe. I love life. Life is awesome. And so understanding that you can enjoy this world, you don't have to leave it, and it's meant to be enjoyed. You're meant to be happy in the hut. You're meant to be happy in this world. In the desert where you're traveling, you're meant to be happy. There's not a destination. I don't need a house in Maui. In fact, this lady from Maui, very successful and financially, she came to Tzfat. They're looking for Tzfat. They're looking for the truth. Why are they looking for this? Because this is where it's at. It's at the stage of simplicity, the stage of contentment. It's at the stage of enjoying a more meaningful life with those people that you love. And this is the third secret that God has done, and that is that the Jewish people were always traveling. In the desert, they didn't come to a destination. Not only did they have the benefit of being chosen and having God with them, but they were always on the move. For life to be interesting, we have to be moving forward. We have to know that we're never going to end the journey. The journey of life is infinite. And if we can just wrap our heads around this, that there is no Egypt, there's no problem that's too big, that God can in 1 second redeem us and will redeem us. Number 2, life is meant to be lived in the moment. And number 3, it's not like you get to a destination. It's rather an infinite story of growth. And now, please God, this Simchas Torah, we have to do the most we can to dance, to bring the joy of God. Because when a Jew is joyous, because God is part of the Jew, it's like a rope that if you pull the below, you pull the above. We're bringing God down. Joy breaks through all boundaries, and it brings the infinity into the finite. And then forever we dance. What is a dance? It's like Rotzev Veshuv. It's like the flame going up and down. We're constantly dancing, and we're going to dance for eternity.